All right, timer's running. So right now I'm going to be picking up where I left off in the last recording. Well, sort of where I left off. First off, you may or may not have seen the last recording because, frankly, it was kind of a train wreck, and I'm not sure whether I'm actually going to post it. It was mostly just a lot of failing at things and yelling at the computer. I have done some more troubleshooting and research since that episode. Let me give the setup very quickly. I'm working on the rake field manual. I'm working on the website for it, and particularly on getting book content onto the WordPress site that I created, the local WordPress development site that I created recently. So to do that, I need to take the content from Org-Mode. Let me see if I can get an example here. Here we go. So here's an example of a source file for the book, for a chapter of the book, or a section. I don't know what these are yet. And it's in org mode, and I need to get it into a nice interchange format, like, say, Markdown. Markdown, I think, will work well, or maybe HTML. Either one would work. And to do that, I'm going to need to, obviously I can do that manually. I know how to do it manually. I did that in, I think, the first episode of this. But I need to work towards automating that. And something that I often do when I'm trying to automate something is I'll jump straight into writing a script or writing a rake file or something like that. But I think there's a lot of value in doing the process, doing the automation steps manually. Hang on a second. All right, I had a little interruption there. So, yeah, I think there's some value in kind of stepping through the automation steps manually. Learning how to do something manually first can prevent going down some rabbit holes sometimes, and you can help. I don't know. Sometimes I've learned by doing that. I've learned stuff like parts of the process are really automatable, and other parts of the process are harder to automate, but that doesn't really matter because they're actually a really small part of the process. And I've saved effort that way. So I'm going to go through these steps as manually as I can, but I'm also going to keep a record, and that's why I've got this Org-Mode notebook up here. I'm going to try and sort of document these steps as I go through them. All right, so what do I need to do this? Well, I happen to know that first off, so I need to use Emacs in a batch fashion from the command line in order to make this automatable. I need to use Emacs to export these files into Markdown or into HTML. And in order to do that, I want to lock this down in a way so that it's not tied to whatever my current Emacs configuration is. So I need to make sure that I'm going to be running Emacs in a kind of a vanilla batch mode, and then I need to make sure it has the right dependencies. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to say that my first step here is to create a vendor dir, because I need some place to put the Emacs dependencies that I'm going to be downloading. So let's see. Looks like I forgot to load something. Okay, that had 0 results, which is actually good. That means we should now have vendor directory. And we do. Okay, so that step's done. This next step is going to be one of the dependencies that I know we have is we need to get a recent version of Org-Mode. So we'll start with download Org-Mode. And for this step, we're going to have to do a wget. And we need the Org-Mode release URL. Actually, I want to be in the vendor directory when I do that. All right, so I have actually hit the keys to execute this. I'm expecting this action to take a moment before it returns. Again, we get 0 results. That's probably a good thing. Let me look in the vendor, and yep, there it is, org903.zip. So that worked well. Good. What happens after we download Org-Mode? Well, we need to unzip Org-Mode. So let's see. CD vendor again, and unzip org 9.0.3.zip. Again, we're not generalizing or automating anything right now. We're just figuring out the steps. So I've got hard-coded versions here. Let's attempt to execute that. There are the results. That's good. Okay. Is it possible to fold these results? I don't actually know. Yes, good. All right, so we can unzip it. Now we need to make sure that we have another package. And this package, we're not going to do it by downloading it. We're going to do it by using the Emacs package system. And this is one where I actually have already constructed a script to do this, because I had to fiddle around with this a lot before I figured it out. So this is my script. I'm not going to go through it in detail, but what we're installing is Aux-GFM, which is the Org-Mode export package for GitHub flavored markup. And to do that, let's just make sure that this works by itself. So install Aux-GFM. One of the things this does is it's going to install this package. I mean, I have this package installed locally, but again, I want to figure out how to make this reproducible on other systems. And so what part of the setup that I put in this script is that it's going to change the place that Emacs looks for packages to this local directory, this local subdirectory of the vendor directory that we just created. So in theory, what's going to happen here is it's going to install a package into that directory. So let's say another script, and we're going to do Emacs. We're going to do quick to skip most of its usual init loading. We're going to do batch to tell it that this is a command line. We're running in command line batch mode. And then we're going to tell it to run a script, which is this install deps.el. You can see the name there, install deps.el. Let me make sure that I've exported the most recent version of that. And then I'm going to attempt to execute it. This is going to take a moment. And it looks like instead of working, it has caused a crash. And back. And oddly enough, even though I saw a crash warning, it looks like it came back. All right, so it's reporting this as a failure because I guess it had a non-zero exit, but actually everything worked fine. And to confirm that, we can, here, let's do it in the Explorer. We can look in vendor, and we can see that we now have Emacs packages. And we've got the oxgfm package, so that actually worked. So that's how we install that dependency. And that should be all we actually need to be able to install, to be able to export some files to Markdown. So this was all, yeah, export Markdown. Okay. All right, so this one is going to be Emacs quick batch. I need to make sure it knows about the alternate package user dir. That's really the only part of this that this needs. So I'll just do eval setq package user dir under Emacs packages. Let me see if I can do this. Oh, I want to terminate our strings here. And then we want to make sure that we've loaded Org-Mode and loaded oxgfm, and then we'll say file, to open a file, and it's going to be // so up a level, and then content, automated process, automatedprocess.org. That's the test that we're going to do. Could have sworn I turned that off. Oh well. And once that's loaded, we're going to do a func call, and we're going to do, I happen to sort of know this one by heart, org gfm export to Markdown. So this is a lot to throw together at once. I'm expecting something here to fail. I'm going to give it a whirl. Cannot open load file, no such file or directory, oxgfm. Oh yeah, and then I forgot a backslash here. All right, what did I screw up? Set the package dir. Package user dir. I'm going to try something different here. I actually wrote this little script down here, this install dev script down here, such that it should be safe to run even as part of this export invocation, because it only tries to install stuff if it isn't installed already. So let me see if I can do it this way. Oh, interesting. I was running into that before, and that suggests that it's loading the wrong version of org. Oh, right, yeah, okay. I downloaded and I unzipped Org-Mode, but I haven't actually set up the right exec path, or the right load path for it. Let's see. Email and to list load path content. No, what am I thinking? Vendor org903. These should be single quotes. Huh. Produce no output. Well, that's interesting. It's actually a little bit suspicious, but let's find out if anything happened here. Well, it certainly didn't export anything. Oh, here we go. Syntax error near unexpected token. Oh, yeah, that would do it. All right, let's just do it like this. And then we will escape these. I'm still getting that. I don't believe that actually produced no output. Oh, okay. Still getting this. This is caused by, as far as I know, this error is caused by finding the wrong version of org. Well, this doesn't look. No, it does look right. Does it look right? Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's do something here. Eval message org version. .2.10 is the org version, which is wrong. Wrong. All right, so what am I doing wrong? I did add to list load path, blah, blah, blah. All right, let's do some stuff on the command line. Emacs quick batch. Eval. First off, let's just do this. All right, so it's not loaded at that point. Let's do eval load org. Let's do eval. To list path. 3. That's odd. Why would it still be... You know, I'm beginning to wonder about the order that it evaluates these in. Let's do this. Well, no, that's just extra weird. What am I missing? One of the things I'm not sure about is I don't actually know if Emacs processes these command line arguments in order of specification or not. Oh, right. There's a subdirectory I had to specify there. Org. 903. All right. So in theory, if I have that here, hey, look at that. Again, it's error output. I guess it had a non-zero exit, so I need to figure out how to allow non-zero. You know, we could probably just do this here. Let's try this. No, I guess that doesn't work. Does that work? I don't think that works. Anyway, it already executed at least once. But interestingly, I'm not seeing another file here. Let's try that again. Oh, okay, interesting. Symbol's value as variable is void for. So it actually started trying. And then something ran into some issue while exporting the file. But this is progress. Anyway, I think my alarm just went off. Yeah. All right. Well, so I guess that's it for this one. See you soon.